it's the end of the night and I'm feeling a little bit weary and I'm bookending. So, and I have to make some disclosures. I have no clue what I'm going to say for the next few minutes. And I didn't even do my slides. No, I've got it. Don't worry. I didn't do my slides. Someone else did them for me. So I can't even tell you what's going to slide over. So it's a complete mystery box. But what I do promise is that I'm going to tell you about me. So, and I'll probably give you some raw truths and maybe how bloody hard it is to be an entrepreneur. So all the entrepreneurs in the room, you know, just pat yourself on the back every day and keep being care. I look at this, not me. Oh, no, I'm still there. Okay, I've got to move on. Well, I look at that photo which says, I look at this and it makes me so proud, actually really emotional. Kick Innovation, the organisation I founded several years ago now, with a mission to solve one of the most complex social problems being youth unemployment. And currently through 42 and some of the initiatives we're doing, we've got a mission to be the #1 tech school in Australia for diversity and inclusion. That's pretty bloody cool. I don't even know how to code. So you'll learn a little bit from me about one thing that all entrepreneurs have in common is we are completely crazy and we're completely passionate, and they're the things that keep driving us every day because it's probably one of the toughest jobs to keep getting up to. So if you actually drive with your mission and your heart and your purpose, it actually makes it really easy. So I think at some stage we're also a little bit lucky. Who's heard, I know many people in the room and there's many faces I don't know, so welcome and thank you for sticking out to the end, and I hope your glasses are full. Who's heard of 42? And no. Who hasn't heard of 42? Right, get your phones out. You've got these little lectern things. So, you know, you can pretend you're in a lecture and just Google us 42 Adelaide, because the way we can become the most, and Melinda's also in the room. So this isn't a stock photo. We don't do stock photos. Hi, Melinda. We're the only school globally that delivers a degree-level software engineering for free. And it's open to everyone. And I'm going to bend your mind a little bit. There's no teachers. And I actually twisted my, because remember I didn't plan anything, but I twisted my ring round. So I remember saying this, that for the second year in a row, we have been ranked the #1 best university in the globe for ethical value 2 years in a row. And #6 now for the most innovative university on the globe. And that's outranked some of the most prestigious universities, Harvard, Oxford, Preston, we all know those. And that is why when you think about how can you run a teacherless school, how can it be completely free? Trust me, it's been a little bit hard to raise all the money in Adelaide, but we are completely free. A student never pays. You really think about it. When I start talking about my journey, and you might connect to some of my own experiences growing up, really think about it. Who currently gets access into a software engineering degree? What ATAR score do you need to have at the most troubling time in your life? Look, there's a few people in the room that were probably really good at school. The most of us were right little shits. So, you know, that's a really, really complex time in your life. So really what that then means is that if you aren't good at school and you can't get into the most privileged degrees like software engineering, actually you can't, it would be really hard for you to inform the world going forward. So a little bit about 42. We say on here it was founded by a social entrepreneur, aka tech billionaire, and he believed that great minds are everywhere and someone's social status should never hinder them from learning. He also had a number of tech companies, and when he was looking at the talent coming out of university, what do you think he was seeing? White male. This software engineering. I mean, yes, it sits there for most degrees as well, but for software engineering, most people were coming out white and male. And what that meant for his company, it's going to hinder growth, it's going to hinder diversity, it's going to hinder really thought leadership. So he put 100 million of his own money into starting 42, which is absolutely incredible. So I'll share a little bit of my journey and how it actually came to be that through my organisation, Kick Innovation, I have the exclusive licence to Australia to run 42 here in Adelaide. So I actually didn't do very well at school. I actually was a right little shit. I hated school. School wasn't right for me. I actually really remember, just from my youngest years, not being good and always being told I'm not good. And those things have a really, really big impact on you, because then you start to play up. I was always in trouble. My family used to laugh, but now I actually know. We had a principal at Salisbury South East Primary School, so I was also, a very low socioeconomic area growing up. And I used to have to be in bopping distance, and I just thought that was funny. But it was when you have the assembly and you have all the kids, I had to sit by the principal in bopping distance because he would just bop my head. My twin sister might have been there too, but there was both of us in bopping distance. And I know, and now that at our school we have 43% of our students identify with a neurodiversity, I probably know that, I had some level of just other processing issues, learning issues that really made me struggle. So going through primary school, I didn't have an identity that I was a good student. I didn't have an identity that, I was the one that was asked to present. I was very good at sport and would spend a lot of time hidden away doing sport. And that was where I really enjoyed and can put out a lot of my energy. That then rolled into high school, and my poor parents saved so much money to send me to a private high school. Oh, God, they wasted their money. I really feel bad. I was just not good at it. I wagged more. I would forge all the signatures. I was so good at it. But one of the things that also started happening was that I actually became a little bit of an entrepreneur. I would do things like, when you would get all the scratchies and you would, if you got 3 in a line, you would get Coke cans. Well, I learned very well how to do that. And do that for the whole school, and then trade very, very quickly. And then my sister got found out, and it wasn't her, it was actually me doing it. So it was an advantage being a twin sister as well. So you go through school, that means I failed school the first time round, and I went out into hospitality, because what do people do when they think that they aren't going to amount to much? Usually retail and hospitality. That's my great career. So I went and did that, and there were some moments in my life then that started to shift. I was working at a little cafe on King William Street that's not there anymore, Country Cafe, and my mum went back to university at 40, and that was you can't be what you can't see. And she inspired me. And then I also had an incident where I had a pregnant woman who was posing to be pregnant come up and get free food every day. And I then followed her once down an alleyway and saw her take her fake pillow. And I went, I have to make a difference, because even though I was quite not a very good child and took that message of uselessness, I always went to bed at night time saying, one day I'm going to do something great. I always had that feeling, and I'm going to make you proud, parents. It might not be now, you just have to hold on and believe in me. So I went back to high school and did it again, and to become a social worker. And that was my absolute commitment. I absolutely loved it, and thank God P's get degrees, because I still wasn't that good when I went to university. But, when I actually was a social worker, I was damn good at it. I got constant accolades. I was praised by many youth court judges of the work that I did in getting people young people out of Cavan. And I really found my passion, and I did that for a number of years, 15 actually, and then became frustrated again. It is a problem of entrepreneurs. We become really frustrated. And I saw there was a big problem. Do you remember that time about 2015 where entrepreneurship got a new life? It wasn't that dirty word anymore. And something was happening. There was this startup community, but it only ever belonged to the really privileged people that came out of the best schools and the best universities. And I was working with all these amazing young people in great communities and going, well, no one's looking after them. Oh, no, actually, they are. They think privileged people can solve the problems of the most disadvantaged people. So it gave me a burning desire to open my own organisation, Kick Innovation. And as you do. I don't know why or how I managed to do this. I had a young child, I had a family, was in a very good, well-paying, very comfortable job, and then just quit. And started my own organisation, and was very, very lucky that the Department for Education funded it was something like an entrepreneurship grant or an innovation grant to me of $100,000, because I'd built an entrepreneurship program in partnership with Westfield. I always am a good seller. It's one of my super skills. So I managed to sell to Westfield that I'm going to help solve a problem of youth unemployment in the north. Can you give me some money? Yes, we can. Department for Education chipped in $100,000 and my organisation started. Grabbed kids off the street, taught them entrepreneurship, and guess what we did? What do social workers do? When you start a business, we open coffee shops. So that's really where we first started, and I shouldn't laugh. I can laugh at myself, and I thought it was the most innovative way to end youth unemployment. 100 people, and we loved what we did, and we worked so tirelessly. Without it, I wouldn't meet amazing people like Amy Orange, and Moira, who we all came together at a space when they really needed more women in social enterprise in Adelaide. We'd opened 4 coffee shops in 2 years, trained over 110 people, and job created for 86% of them. So a pretty good record. And we opened a chocolate factory. And we opened a commercial cleaning company. And then I got frustrated. And I went to my board and said, this is never going to solve the complex problem. I think, Dr. Sharon, you were saying so well, what are the initiatives you create to solve your mission? And can you keep pivoting to actually make sure that mission is pure? And it's really actually the hardest thing, especially when you've got coffee shops and all the rest, really hard to kind of jump out and actually go, maybe you're doing not the best job. So I asked my board to give me a few months to go and look for the best global education program on the market, and just give me a few months to do it. We transitioned all the coffee shops to mum and dad businesses, and COVID happened, so it was kind of like as if we saw the writing on the wall, so it was very lucky. It was very hard to run coffee shops in Westfield centres. And I found 42. I was teaching at Flinders New Institute at the time, and I said I need the best education program. One that closed the gap, because what was also happening at the time is the biggest demand, so this was about 2018, the demand for tech talent was becoming so apparent, and no one was looking at all the people that potentially were unemployed to fill it. They just kept thinking, universities keep pumping them out. The amount of PwC events that I went to that just said, government, fix it. Universities, fix it. And I'm like, but there's just not enough people going in. How can it possibly be fixed? And then 42 was that solution. And who wouldn't look at 42 and go, that is the answer? So I emailed the French head office and I said, look, I'm this crazy social entrepreneur in Adelaide. Will you license me the school in Australia? Didn't think much of it. Beautiful Bert, if anyone knows Bert from Flinders New Institute, you can blame him. He's the one that told me about 42. And I've had many sleepless nights because of him since then. And because maybe it's my Maltese heritage, they said, yeah, sure, you can license. You'll be the first non-millionaire to do it. I didn't know there was all these campuses opened by Volkswagen in Germany and the founder of TomTom in Amsterdam and the best gaming company in the world, Supercell, opened in Finland. I didn't know that. I was in Adelaide. And so I just thought, this is what I'm going to do. So it took me 3 years and a COVID pandemic to open the best software engineering school in Adelaide. And I hope that what you've learnt today is that great minds are everywhere. So being told that I didn't have a great mind when I was young, it actually doesn't matter. We can, as long as we have passion and purpose and we have the support of our people around us, just also let people be crazy and keep supporting them. I'm so proud that we've been open for 18 months. Melinda, who's in the audience today, is our wellbeing officer. We have an all-female team and one token man. And that was something that I can do and influence. There's got nothing to do with discrimination. It's all merit-based. So really proud. We have 30% females studying with us. We know that there's no other software engineering school that can beat us. with 43% neurodiverse, 28% have never completed high school. So please, I hope that inspires you to find out more about 42, because it has stolen my heart. And, you know, I won't go into the complexities of how you run a free school in Adelaide. That's for another time and a few more wines. But thanks so much.